Hey there guys, welcome to another action figure review, and today we're gonna venture into the Spider-Verse as we review two vastly different versions of the same character. Yes, we're gonna take a gander at this Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man based off of his first appearance, and also from the Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 line. Let's take a good look at Spider-Punk right here. Rock and roll. Alright, so I'd say, you know what? Let's start off with Spider-Punk right here. Let's take a good look at the packaging. I noticed that besides the retro line, they've kind of started associating Spider-Man figures with like blister cards. Not that I have not blister cards, bubble cards. Not that I have a problem with that. I think it does some good to just minimize as much, waste as possible to give us as much of the figure that they can. Not sure how I feel about it being translated to like the next No Way Home wave, because Hasbro PulseCon has passed, so I'm obviously dating myself in this video. Hasbro PulseCon, and they announced, by the way, those No Way Home figures are amazing. At least the Spider-Man. I can't say the same for what is it, the Butterscotch Man? Yeah. If that head is able to go on the retro Sandman body, then that's still a purchase on my behalf. Maybe not a purchase at full price, but that body is god awful. It literally looks like a Seas candy, like a melted Seas candy. So I don't know what they were thinking with that. Besides that, though, on the bubble card, all the Spider-Men, they look incredible. Even MJ looks good. I don't think she has upper torso articulation like a crunch. I don't think she comes with that. And the Matt Murdock also looks pretty amazing as well. But for sure, those three Spider-Man were day one pre-orders for me. It's like, no, I'm all in on them. They look amazing. I'm still not bummed about buying the 3-pack first. Like, I still think the 3-pack is pretty amazing, no pun intended, on its own. But I think there might be some slight differences between the figures. Hence why I'm going to hold on to the 3-pack figures and also have these new figures as well. And hoping that they're all interchangeable, because I do think that the 3-pack figures come with much more hands, than this blister card wave of No Way Home figures. But besides that, that's all I could say. PulseCon was good. I managed to pre-order a few of the things that I wanted. But besides that, let's move on back to the review and take a good look at this Spider-Punk figure. Of course, from the Across the Spider-Verse wave, and this wave is pretty hit or miss. There's a lot of popular characters. Obviously, Miles, Gwen, Spider-Punk, 2099. There actually even the Spot. I think the Spot is even like, at first I think he was peg warming, but then people saw the movie and saw how much of a threat the Spot was and how they totally revamped the character. So now this figure is also pretty hard to find. I think the two peg warmers in this wave is obviously going to be Jessica Drew and Peter B. Parker. Yeah, Spider-Man with bare feet, that looks kind of odd. But yeah, the Spider-Punk figure, I saw renders of him and I thought I wasn't gonna like him because he just looks way too angular, but in hand he actually looks pretty incredible. I'll go as far as to say that I actually like how he looks here than in the Spider-Punk figure that was like the comic accurate Spider-Punk figure that was released a couple of years ago. I kind of like how he looks here. It's a lot much more punk rock edge, and he actually has a bit more color than the other one. The other one was pretty much standard red and blue. And I actually do dig the black accents on this figure, so what have you. And the packaging is just a blister card, standard. It's going to be the same. It's going to show Miles and Gwen and 2099 on every single one. There's nothing specified for the figure other than the glamour shot right here in the back. And that's pretty much it. And the name on top, it says Spider-Punk. But yeah, we're going to crack him open and we're going to see how this figure fares. And hopefully I don't break anything, because he is pretty skinny and he is pretty angular, like a real punk should be, But punk is not malnourished. They're not real punk. They're just posers. Alright, so we got him out. Nice name badge right here. Spider-Punk right there. Get it out. Let's get the figure out. Are there any twisty ties? There's no twisty ties, so that's good. So we could just pull them out of the packaging right then and here. And he feels really skinny. And to be quite honest with you, he does feel kind of gummy. He doesn't seem to be composed of really hard plastic, but maybe that's for the better. I know I normally would complain about figures being too gummy, like for instance, like the Fortnite figures, like the gold Midas guy that I reviewed a couple of moons ago. But this guy, him being gummy, it kind of and so bendable and flexible, kind of goes to his benefit because these arms are really skinny. And they're pretty well articulated, all if I do say so myself. So he does seem to have a lot of detail to him. I actually dig it. I just saw that the strap on his guitar was also kind of colored, but we'll get to that further on. These are suspenders that they're like down here, so they're definitely not gonna be, you're not gonna be able to put the suspenders on them. Maybe it's doable possibly, but I'm not gonna risk ripping it, so yeah. But anyways, let's take a good look at his articulation. So he could look up pretty high. Oh, nice mohawk, by the way. Nice mohawks on him. Look down pretty well as well, and his head can actually shift to help with the movement. Of course, does a perfect 360. Arms stretch out forward. I don't think he has any diaphragms, but he does have a bicep cut. He does have double jointed, even though they're really skinny, they are double jointed elbows. He does have elbow rotation and of course a hinge for up and down movement. He has an ab crunch, so that's good. That's always good. And in addition to the ab crunch, he also has rotation right here, a waist cut. So that's always a plus for me. That's one of the things I don't understand why certain figures have it and other figures don't have it. His legs stretch out way good, as they should, because he's really skinny. Thigh cut, it looks like he had, I guess it's just sculpted on. I guess it looked like it had like much more sculpting right here, but that's just the material to like make his pants look much more leather. So that's pretty cool. Double jointed knees. Boot cut. He actually has a boot cut. That's pretty incredible. So he has a boot cut, of course, and he also has a hinge right here. An ankle rocker. No foot toe articulation whatsoever. Those boots look pretty nice. The paint job on him as a whole looks incredible. Whoever revamped this design deserves kudos. I don't know if it was someone from Sony Animation that did it, but yeah, this works. I just love all the colors on him, from like the darker blue to the lighter blue to even the design right here in the back. It says Spider-Man SMFN. I wonder what the FN stands for. But yeah, so, and studs, spikes, you know, leather studs, bristles, and acne. He comes with all those things. So yeah, so he is an incredible figure. I mean, wow, even these studs right here are painted. That's pretty incredible. I did not expect that much detail on him. So he is such a great figure. And actually, I'm gonna go as far as to say that I've seen the Spider-Punk figure that was released a few years back, and I really didn't like it. And I think this one tops it. I know a lot of people are going to be like, no, the original, maybe because it's a bit more expensive now and harder to find, but I think this is a much more superior, no pun intended, Spider-Punk figure. And that's not even getting into his accessories. He comes with this guitar, this electric guitar, and that's pretty cool. It's even right here, the things on top are, the knobs are colored. The strings aren't colored. Actually, no, the strings are not colored, and there's just a mosaic of like multiple things on the guitar. Let me see if I could recognize anything. No, something chaos. I know it says something chaos. There's a skull on it. Of course, it's a checkerboard pattern, so he probably plays some of that ska music on the side. And of course, this colored leather strap looks incredible, and it is removable for easy access to like putting it on him. But I think it's wide enough that you could just put it on Spider-Punk with no problem, and he could actually just store it in the back like so. So yeah, great figure. Oh, and in addition to that, he also comes with, of course, the rock on, whatever you want to call it, devil horns, good luck. There's multiple meanings to all this. Who was the guy that invented it? Was it Dio, I think? And of course he has like these fisted hands, and of course he has like this plucking guitar strings hand right here, so that's pretty cool. Actually, oh no, my bad. So this is holding guitar strings hand, like he's actually playing a power chord with this. And on this fisted hand, I thought it was a fisted hand, but it's actually him holding an actual pick. So yeah. Hey, speaking of music, I don't know if you guys could hear that. I don't know if it's my speaker's gonna pick it up, but whatever. We're doing it live, and we're actually doing it, well, not live, but I'm doing it in the daytime for once. Normally I do these videos at night, but I felt like doing it in the daytime this time around, so there you go. Don't judge me. So of course that means if he's picking the hand, that means okay, the guitar has to go like this on him. Okay, so yeah, so he's gonna be holding it up like this, and probably Joe Strummer power chord strumming right there. Actually, I didn't even notice the painted lines on them, and they look pretty sick. They do kind of like, they're not perfectly like matched, but they're as good as it can possibly get on the mask at least, and it's nice. And I didn't even notice like the dripping paint on his eyes, like it's like if it's eyeliner, so that's pretty cool. Definite A+ figure in my an execution and everything. A+ for effort. That's what I wanted to say. I'm gonna give him an 8.5 out of 10. I think he's well worth the price. Maybe even a little bit over if you got to pay more now that these figures are kind of getting discontinued. I wouldn't pay too much for him, but hey, if so long as he costs less than the original Spider-Punk figure, then he's well worth the pickup. That's my opinion, you know. But definitely don't be paying like, I don't know, like 50-60 bucks for him, you know. If you guys could get him at retail, that's fine. If you guys had to pay like maybe like 32-35 bucks for him, that he's still well worth it in my honest opinion. Hopefully I'm not dating myself with these prices now that I just noticed that. I normally don't recommend prices for the figures, but you know, I just decided to do it this time around. So moving on, we're gonna take a good look at this Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man figure. And I've heard people say that this is possibly the best Spider-Man figure that's been released by Hasbro. We're gonna see. We're gonna wait and see about that. I do like though the drawing on the side. This is literally like the first Amazing Fantasy 15 cover, or is it 14 or 15? I think it's 15. But that's literally Spider-Man's origin comic. He comes, of course, with all these accessories. He comes with all these hands. He comes with like these little spider wing things. Even it comes with like the cape in the back they used to have, and of course a web shooting compartment right there. This is probably the apex of design when it comes to windowless packaging. I really dig how they just chose sometimes certain drawings for the figure to depict them. Of course, it says Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man right there, and that's gonna actually that brings up a good question for me. Like, what's gonna happen to figures that are released? Because I think Amazing Fantasy is getting a re-release. I think he is getting a re-release in a windowed in a windowed card like this. But what's gonna happen to figures that were released during that era of windowless packaging and they never get a re-release? And how can you verify that it's a mint on card figure is what I'm trying to say. Like, how can you verify that it's something that you could pay for mint on card if you don't even know what's inside it? You know, for all you know, like 30 years down the line, someone pays, I don't know, someone pays 50 bucks for, I don't know, I forget, someone pays for like a Monet, you know, someone pays like $3,000 for a mint on card Monet figure, or I'm sorry, and next thing you know, there's a bunch of rocks inside, you know. So I don't know, it raises too many questions as to like whether it was a good decision for Hasbro to do that in the first place, to be honest with you. But well, they got the cat out of the bag. There's no going back anymore. That's on them, you know. So let's open this figure up carefully. You know what, I normally don't collect these boxes, but I am trying to save this box because I really like the design on it. So let's get it out. Let's get the figure out. And here he is, wrapped up like a mummy. There's all his accessories just fell out. I think it would be better to just get all his accessories out first. Nice glamour shot right there. And there you go. And he should be having 3 pairs of hands. Of course, the 2 little wing things in the swinging line. Okay, so I think right here, let's take a good look at. You could already tell that right here is going to be the web line, and these are my rolling papers for later. Okay, so here's the web line, standard web line. I think the 3-pack Peters came with this as well, one for each. Let's take a good look at this right here. It's gonna be all the stuff he comes with. So okay, I just need to be careful not to drop anything. Okay, here we go. So here are like, whoa, wow, he actually came with more. What the heck? So he actually came with like more web, like winged web parts right here. They're right there, and then here, different effect to them. Unless it's the ones that are, I think they're the ones that are already on the figure. My bad. Sorry about that, folks. Of course, he comes with a set of wall crawling hands right here. A set of fisted hands right here. Not so much a fisted hand. Actually, this is a fisted hand. This is also like just for like grabbing, like a grabbing hand. Another grabbing hand. This is more likely for like web slinging, and of course a web shooting hand. So by the property of subtraction or mathematics or whatever, I should have a fisted hand here and a web shooting hand here on the actual figure. By the law, the property law of deduction. I think that's how it goes, or something like that, something to that effect. So let's get this figured out. All right, and let's see if he actually lives up to the hype. And here we go. Wow, nice. He definitely looks like something that was drawn in the 1960s. Obviously, it's a different color. This is a slightly darker blue, almost gray blackish color for him, but the sculpt looks pretty incredible, amazing, if I do say so myself. Of course, he's pinless. Actually, that's another thing to note about this guy as well. This guy was pinless as well. So pinless. Of course, let me see. Okay, so underneath the arms is where you could attach those little like web keep thingamabobs. So that's pretty cool. So I guess this is where you would attach them. Right. See, like that. So I guess this is where you would attach these things, and I'm worried though that if once you attach them, they don't stick that well. But then again, I'm not attaching them that well to begin with, so but I'm trying to attach it to see. Okay, actually, yeah, it sticks pretty well once you get them on there, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, of course they slightly impair articulation, so that's just something to keep in mind. Might be something in which you are gonna have to pose the figure first and then attach those things. So anyways, let's take a good look at his articulation. So of course he does have, let's see how he looks high up pretty well, looks down pretty well. Of course his head shifts as well right there, turns perfect 360, arm stretch out, bicep cut, double jointed elbows, wrist rotation, wrist hinge. Does have a diaphragm for extra articulation, so that's always appreciated right there. And I actually had to break it in right now, the diaphragm joint right there. Looks good. Has a, whoa, cracked it open. Wow, I was worried right there. So does have a waist cut right, does have a diaphragm right here, but also has, actually does not have a waist cut, but has extra articulation right here at the torso. So it's up to the diaphragm to actually turn right here. Well, it's up to the diaphragm right here to turn for the upper body, so that's fine. Because it actually, you actually have an extra articulation right here at the bottom torso. Legs stretch out pretty well. Thigh cut, double jointed knees, boot cut, and of course toe foot articulation, ankle rocker, the whole 9 yards. You guys already know. You guys already know. There's gonna come a point in these reviews when I'm just gonna go like, yeah, has everything already that it should have. But as of now, I guess I still gotta repeat it. So, but anyways, the paint job on the figure itself looks pretty clean. I can't complain about anything. The lines are painted on him. They're not sculpted on. But I will say that this guy seems to have a much cleaner paint job done everywhere. So he seems to be a bit more flawless when it comes to like drawing the web line. So that's good for him. But I will say I'm going to be honest with you guys, though. I really don't get the hype for him. He's okay, in my opinion. He's okay. He's not the best Spider-Man figure. I think even the Renew Your Vows is a bit better, to be honest with you. And when it comes to like fun factor, I think this guy is a bit more fun than this guy. So you guys are probably gonna crucify me for this, but I'm gonna have to give this guy. You guys are gonna crucify me for this because I gave this guy an 8.5, and I'm gonna give this guy an 8 out of 10. Yeah, Amazing Fantasy. It's probably amazing for a few people, but I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me, man. He looks too round as well, but he's okay. He's a great figure, like I'm telling you. But if you're looking for a Spider-Man from the cartoon series of the 1960s, this is your figure right here. But yeah, like to me, there's just better Spider-Man that I prefer. It's as simple as that. That's all I gotta say. I've spoken my mind. So thanks guys for everything. As always, peace and love. I hope to continue to give you guys some action figure reviews, and that's it. I'm out of here. Peace until the next one. Laters.